Why don't they teach this in school? That's what I want to know. Why don't they teach you can control your thoughts? We get to go, whoop, when you're aware of it, you can go, wait a minute, that's not true. Is that true? This would change the world. But the more that we know, the more we be happy. Because our brain believes what we tell it. Hi. But ants, have you all heard about ants? It's just an acronym. Automatic negative thoughts. It's not hard words. Self-talk is what it is. And we all do it. It's what our brains do. It's like they're programmed to do that. And we don't always even know. We're not aware of it all the time. And we don't stop. We just don't question whether they're right, even, whether they're correct. Because our brain believes what we tell it. The part of our brain that's responsible for keeping our bodies going, you know, breathing, all those things, that's thinking without us. That's the automatic part of our brain. And it's the one that throws up thoughts like, don't do that. Oh, that would be too, don't try that. That's scary. You're too dumb for that. You're too this, you're too that, or you're not enough of this. It's just, I can't help it. Anyway, the point is that they steal our energy, put my energy here and not let it be sucked from here. Because we only have so much. So what we think about controls how we feel, because whatever we're paying attention to in our minds, that's what helps give us energy. It's our mental energies that we bring to something is what helps us get something done. And so dopamine is involved as a chemical thing, but the chemical balance in our brain works along with our thoughts. And it's amazing. They used to think that after the age of 20, our brains were the way they are. You are formed, you're this person. But now they know when we can think a thought over and over, it becomes ingrained and it literally makes new little neural pathways and, you know, lights up different parts of our brain. It can change for the worse, of course, like something that happens that's terrifying and it was a horrible experience. And then your brain kind of goes, let's protect ourselves. We're never doing that again. That's an automatic thought. But we get to, knowing that we get to change it, it sounds like too simple and yet it's very hard because it's ingrained. There's already a pathway that's like, nope, this is what happens when we try to do this, we think this, and we act accordingly. So if we're aware of that, we can stop and go, hang on, I get to think what I want to think. It's called neuroplasticity, but it just means our brains literally are changing. It's hard to make a new habit. There's a pathway that your brain's like, let's just go with the flow. This is what's familiar. This is what we're going to do. Where our awareness goes, our energy follows. It's putting your awareness of different things instead of the awareness of this thought loops going on in your head that are causing stress. Just a matter of like bringing your awareness to, you're telling it, nope, we're not thinking about that. It's making your body go, oh, you're the boss. Your brain. That's the other thing. Your brain does not know if you're rehearsing something in your head. Even though we know we're not physically doing it, your brain does not know. It helps make your brain think, we've done this a million times before. Say to be aware of the energy that the ants steal, the automatic negative thoughts, because then you're aware of it, you're focusing on it, even if it's just for a minute, and it steals a little bit of your energy. We only remember like 18% of what we hear, unless we write it down. So I write down the things. If we're aware of them stealing our energy, usually we're used to it, we don't even realize it. But if we're sitting and dwelling on something, those thoughts, whatever that is, and that's where our energy goes. And so no wonder we can't come back to what we were doing and go, I'm just gonna do this now. Like it's exhausting, but we can't create more energy. We can't like, I'm gonna get some energy. We wanna change it from a noun to a verb. Like energy, yes, it's a thing, it's a noun. But it needs to be something we do, that we get, that we control where it goes, the energy. Put my energy here and not let it be sucked from here. Because we only have so much every day. And every time you stop one of the automatic thoughts, it makes it a little easier to do it the next time. So like people for distractions, even if we like, oh, I got distracted. Every time we notice that, oh, I got distracted, and you make yourself go back to what the one thing that you should be focusing on in that moment, where your awareness is, that makes it easier for your brain to go, oh, that's what we're supposed to do. Go back, stay on this thing. Is this gonna weigh me down forever? No. You tell it something and it's gonna believe it. We have to do it several times. It's like planting a seed. Why don't they teach this in school? That's what I wanna know. Why don't they teach, you can control your thoughts. It's not an automatic thing. It's automatically the opposite because it's trying to protect you. But we get to go, whoop, when you're aware of it, you can go, wait a minute, that's not true. Is that true? Oh, our mind is always eavesdropping on our self-talk. The part of your brain that's the fight or flight that like throws you into that kind of thing when you're not consciously going, oh, hey, I should be afraid. Because you know you shouldn't be afraid of whatever the thing is, like a loud noise. You go, ah, like that. That's your brain too. So then your brain gets to tell your brain, it was a freaking book. It fell on the floor. This is not scary. So we talk to ourselves all the time. There's just so much good stuff about the brain that's not even hard to understand. It's just new. It's just like, what? The more that we know, I mean, the point is to live at peace, to live not in turmoil, but to be able to go, guess what? I get to choose my thoughts. It's like you have to fight the ants. You got to fight them. If I told myself every day, I'm having fewer automatic negative thoughts every day, I promise you, I believe it eventually. Somebody hold me to it. Because what's the point of anything you can learn or achieve if you're in turmoil? There's not a point, really. Because really what's most important are relationships. Doing our actions are a thought first, an emotion. We don't feel emotions until we have a thought about it. Oh yeah, that made me sad. You think I'm sad, then you're sad, and you're like, I'm sad now. The thought went first. And so if we can get to that thought and go, let's try to change that. Let's tell our brain we're not going to think that anymore because it doesn't serve us at all. And God already said, renew our mind. Like in the Bible, he literally says, renew your minds. He told us there's neuroplasticity. Whatever is true, whatever is right, whatever is noble, whatever is good, think on these things. That's what he said, because he knew our brains are like, but I'm going to think about this instead. Let's just hover over that. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please share this if you know anybody that you think would love to hear it as well. And I appreciate you guys. It's like a path, like water falling down a hill.